Hey everybody, welcome to Britpop React, your BP1 and BP2.
Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you very much for joining, and thank you to Jacob French.
Hello Jacob.
For popping over and buying us a coffee. Links in the description if you'd like to do that. And Jacob knows, he's been feeding us, spoon-feeding us country music for a while now.
Right.
We've got the top 20 greatest country songs of all time in WatchMojo.com's opinion.
All right. I wonder how they base this. Is it also on sales, possibly? Watches? Who knows these days? But
no.
Top 20. All right. Off the top of your little noggin, what do you reckon is going to be number one? Dolly Parton?
Well, no, because we did another previous one of top 10, and Dolly Parton was not even in there, mate. And I was surprised. I'd like to see Patsy Cline in there.
Yes. That'd be nice.
Yeah, do you know what? I really don't know because I'm not sure
where they're going with this. You know,
what's his name? I Walk the Line.
Oh yes,
I'd like to see
Johnny
that
Cash.
Johnny Cash. So I don't know. We'll see. Jacob did say he's been interested to see if we know any of them.
Okay, that's a good start.
That's a good start. Yeah. So yeah, no, it'll be good. It will
be
good.
We'll call out the ones that we do know, and we'll try and sort of recognise people.
We will.
All right.
Now, if you've watched us before, why not join us on Patreon? This is what it's about.
Really? Oh, that's us. That's us.
So there you go.
Nice little country twang in the advert
rock
as well.
Twang as well for you.
Oh, lovely. We think of everything here.
Links in the description if you want to check that one out.
Yeah,
all right,
come on over. All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's see.
My mama
how
it to the Harper Valley PTA.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 country songs of all time.
He said, "Son, I've made a
Gambler, we know this
Gambler.
one.
out of reading people's faces."
For this list, we'll be
That's
ranking the creme de la creme of
Cash,
country
there he is.
music from all of the genre's rich history.
Not sure
Did
who
we
that
leave
is.
out your favorite? Let us know in the comments.
We've done him.
Number 20, El Paso, Marty
El
Robbins.
Paso.
This one's for the old schoolers.
Nighttime would find me in Rose's
yeah, I know this
cantina. Music would play and footy knew.
Yeah, know the song? No idea.
Marty Robbins' Gunfighter Ballads and
name
Trail
was.
Songs LP from 1959 is a classic from the country music genre, featuring an iconic cover shot that immediately jumps out from the racks of vinyl on a shelf. The Spanish guitar instantly puts you in a time and place. An Old West cantina south of the border where danger lurks around every corner. Bobby Sykes and Jim Glazer sing the song with amazing skill, harmonizing beautifully as they tell a tale of love, death, yearning, and loss.
Back in El Paso, my life would be worthless. Everything's gone in life, nothing is left.
The protagonist's story in El Paso predictably ends in tragedy. But let's be honest, would we really want it any other way?
Lena,
Number 19,
Classic.
Goodbye Earl.
Oh, yes.
The
We've
Chicks.
done this one.
Songwriting is a key component to a great country music song, with many compositions being performed by multiple singers, sometimes charting in completely different decades.
Wanda looked all around this town and all she found was Earl.
The Chicks didn't write Goodbye Earl, but their version from 1999 was released a number of years after its original songwriter, Dennis Lynn, had his version recorded by a different band. Goodbye Earl deals with the controversial subject of domestic violence, both lyrically and with its accompanying music video.
But Earl walked right through that restraining order and put her in intensive care.
Despite this, the song was a hit for the Chicks, with a lot of money and attention raised to benefit battered women's shelters in the wake of its success.
Goodbye, Earl. We need a break.
Number 18, Hello Darlin', Conway
Conway
Twitty.
Oh, hello.
Some
Another name.
songs are just born for the live
Conway
arena.
Twitty.
In this case, Conway Twitty's Hello Darlin' was one of the legend's go-to openers. A bittersweet ballad full of the sort of love and loss
Come
so
on, let's
often
hear the
found
song. I wanna
in
hear a
some
bit
of the
more of the
best
song.
I know,
country
yeah.
songs.
What's that, darling? How am I doing?
Twitty's voice almost sounds at the point of breaking when he sings the line, "Gotta go now." And it's this believability that lends Hello Darlin' such an emotional resonance.
Goodbye, darling. Gotta go now.
There's a pathos to Twitty's performance that lifts the song's arrangements from good
I'm sure
to
we've heard
great,
this somewhere.
all the while making Hello Darlin'
Yeah.
one of
Maybe it was
country
on the last
music's
top
most
tens.
recognizable standards.
Come back, darling. I'll be waiting for you.
Number 17, Take Me Home, Country Roads.
Oh, yeah.
John Denver. There's a certain wistfulness and innocence
Wow,
to
look at
John
him there.
Denver's smash
Yeah.
hit, Take Me Home, Country
Very young,
Roads.
isn't he? When was that? 95.
Heaven, West Virginia.
The song's melodic nature is evocative,
isn't it?
painting a picture of long drives or
You obviously
perhaps
don't want any
hitchhiking,
copyright strikes, does he, this
1970s
guy?
style, and
Playing
thoughtful
less than 2
contemplation.
seconds.
Denver's vocals are clear as a crystal stream, untouched by grit, yet possessing a likability that's uniquely John and John's alone.
All my
Nice guitar.
memories.
He's got a great voice, isn't he?
Yeah.
The
Lovely
backing
voice.
vocals accompany Denver beautifully, while acoustic and steel guitar interplay make Country Roads a song
Never
we can
seen him that
spin
young, though.
over and over again, with no
Without his
worries
glasses.
whatsoever.
Take me home, that country road.
The Wildlife Concert.
Number
All right.
16.
Yeah.
It wasn't God who made Honky Tonk Angels. Kitty
Was that
Wells.
this one?
The
Kitty
term
Wells.
standard comes up again and again within country music. Those songs that make up the great book of music covered again and again by different artists.
As I sit here tonight, the jukebox playing.
Nope.
It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels is one of those standards. A tune that lives forever
Sure, I'm not
thanks
listening
to
to
the
enough of the
magic
songs to
present
know if I
within its
know it.
construction
Yeah.
and the performances of those who try their musical hand. Kitty Wells first made the song popular back in 1952, with words and
Wow.
music composed by J.D.J. Miller.
It's a shame that all the blame is on us women.
Wells was the first female solo artist to hit the
not sure it's
Billboard
one that
Country
I'd like
number
anyway.
one with her version. An ode to cheating men and the dance hall girls who, to paraphrase Hank Williams, live on the wild side of life.
Gotcha.
Cost many a good girl to go wrong.
Number 15. Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. Waylon Jennings and Willie
Well, we know
Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Mamas
Yeah.
Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys was a mild hit for songwriter Ed Bruce when he included it on his 1976 solo album, but most country fans are probably more familiar with the more famous cover version from 1978.
Cowboys
That's a
ain't
cover, innit?
easy to love,
Yeah.
and they're harder to hold.
Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson gave the tune an up-tempo spit shine with airtight musical backing on their studio rendition.
Cowboys like smoky old pool rooms and clear mountain mornings.
The pair also dropped plenty of their own classic
Maybe it's that
charisma
one, I'm
onto
not
the
sure.
track,
Yeah.
Play
giving
the
Mamas
song.
Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys a fresh lease on life for some new fans.
They'll never stay home and they're always alone, even with someone they love.
Number 14.
I'm not sure.
Where
Wow.
were you when the world stopped turning?
We've done this
Alan
one.
Jackson.
Alan
Yeah,
Jackson,
we did
yeah.
The
this
world
one,
of
didn't
country
we?
music, perhaps
9/11.
more than any other genre, delved deep into emotional catharsis and reflection after the events of September
was a
11th,
good one, wasn't it? It was good.
2001.
Yeah,
Where
very
were
good,
you
yeah.
when the world stopped turning on that September day?
This owes largely to its uniquely American origins, as well as the patriotism that usually comes part and parcel with country music as a whole. Still, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning is particularly poignant by anyone's standard, thanks to Alan Jackson's legitimately focused delivery.
Did you notice the sunset the first time in ages? Speak to some stranger on the street.
There isn't a lot of rah-rah jingoism or revenge speak here, but rather a moment of connection with all of those who felt something on that day. There's a sense of shared loss and reverence for the dead, and a memory that many of us will never forget.
Faith, hope, and love are some good things he gave us, and the greatest is love.
Number 13, The Devil Went Down to Georgia,
Yep.
the
Done
Charlie
this one.
Daniels Band.
We do.
The
Yeah,
Devil Went
good
Down to
one, this one,
Georgia
isn't it?
is something
Yeah.
of an outlier on this list, in that it absolutely rocks.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal.
Country music has always shined with its contemplative nature, but who said there was anything wrong with letting loose once in a while? Charlie Daniels' musical knowledge is set on full display with The Devil Went Down to Georgia, taking his experience as a sideman and songwriter by utilizing both hard rock and soul to tell his tale.
The boy said, my name's
Rockwell.
Johnny and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet you're going to regret because I'm the best as ever been.
The fiddle between Old
Yeah, it
Scratch
was
and
good, wasn't
Johnny
it? It was
tosses
good.
bluegrass, rock, and even some funk into the mix, with the end result being one of the most gleeful and fun country hits to ever cross over into mainstream radio. Number 12, Coal Miner's Daughter, Loretta
Loretta
Lynn.
Lynn, we know her.
It's
Know the
difficult
name,
hedging
yeah,
out
Loretta
just
Lynn.
one track from Loretta Lynn's storied career in country music. The Pill was a controversial anthem of female empowerment, while One's on the Way humorously took a mirror image look into the life of a harried mother. Coal Miner's Daughter might be among the most personal and well-known songs from Lynn, and with good reason, because it's an all-time classic.
Well, I was born to coal miner's daughter.
The song is an autobiographical tale of
got
Loretta's
banjo in it.
childhood and
Yes.
upbringing, and boasts amazingly rich production by the engineering legend Owen Bradley.
In the summertime, we didn't have shoes to wear.
Meanwhile, Lynn's vocals
Not my
are
cup of
full
tea.
of charisma and mesmerizing depth, capturing our imagination every
Good voice,
time we
though.
hear them, right to the present day.
Not much left but the floor. Nothing lives here anymore, except the memories of a coal miner's daughter.
Number
That's
11,
pretty cool. That's
Friends in
quite
Low
swingy.
Places.
Yeah, it was,
Garth
wasn't it?
Brooks.
Swing on that.
Garth Brooks is unquestionably
okay.
one of the most well-known and popular names of
Kelly
modern-day
Clarkson
country
show.
music. And Friends in Low Places is perhaps a fan favorite of his enviable musical repertoire.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair.
The song had been written and performed by a couple of other artists prior to Brooks getting his mitts on it, but his version definitely seemed to resonate with an audience ready to hear Garth deliver the goods.
We haven't done much,
Say
Garth, have we?
goodnight and I'll show myself to the door.
The man's
Yeah, I'm
vocal
not-
is
I'm
full
not
of
sure I
sass
love
and
it.
attitude, while the arrangements swing low and
I know a lot of
slow
people
like a good
love it, but-
barbecue. It's a meat and potatoes tune that begs for fun, perhaps slightly inebriated sing-alongs, and good times. Number 10, Always on My Mind,
Okay,
Willie
yeah, know this
Nelson.
one.
There's just something magical about the DNA of a truly great song, something that keeps bringing back, again and again, to singers that can work their own unique magic to the melody. Willie Nelson's On the Road Again is one.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
While
Yeah, I know
Always
that
on
song.
My Mind is another, having been recorded by legends such as Elvis Presley and Brenda Lee over the years. Nelson lent his own unique stamp to the song in 1982, a decade after it was originally composed by songwriters Wayne Carson, Mark James, and Johnny Christopher.
Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died.
Willie's version had crossover success outside of the country music world. While retaining its soft,
I'd
balladeering
like to hear him
structure,
sing that song,
it's
actually.
just a tender and melancholic song that tugs at the heartstrings every time.
You were always on my mind.
Number 9,
Classic
Amarillo
song, yeah.
by Morning, George
Oh,
Strait.
George Strait.
Yeah.
George
Yes,
Strait's
we know
version
this
of
one.
Amarillo by Morning was a hit for the Texas-born singer a decade
Yeah,
after the
there.
tune was originally
I was gonna say, I
co-written
didn't even
and recorded by
recognise it.
Terry
No.
Stafford back in
That's not the same
1973.
bloke.
Everything that I got is just what
That's
I
not the
got.
same bloke, surely.
The processed 80s production style doesn't hurt Strait's version in the slightest, with the end result sounding somewhat similar to George's other big hits, All My Exes Live in Texas.
Right.
Texas is a place I dearly love to be.
Here, both songs come across as smooth, but never soulless, and straight soulful vocal carries both tunes to the places they need to go. Amarillo by Morning may be a hard luck song about a rodeo rider, but George Strait sells it in a way that brings us nothing but joy.
I think it's a pretty good song, regardless of what I said at the time.
Number 8, The Gambler, Kenny Rogers.
This is a classic.
Some country music songs just seem destined to cross over into the cultural zeitgeist. The Gambler is one of those tunes, a defining song for Kenny Rogers from a career that spanned many different kinds of music.
Met up with a gambler, we were both too tired to sleep.
The Gambler is a little ways away from Rogers' beginnings as a psychedelic rock pioneer with his old group, The First Edition, and was actually the 4th time the tune had been recorded since being written by Don Schlitz in 1976.
Cause every hand's a winner, and every hand's a loser.
Rogers' version feels like pop country before pop country was a thing. Although this doesn't diminish the work Rogers and producer Larry Butler brought to making The Gambler their own. This song just seemed like it was waiting for Kenny to take hold and take control.
You got to know when to hold up.
And it got a great hook in it.
Oh, yeah.
Number 7, Stand By Your Man, Tammy Wynette. The world of country music has possessed so many defining and devastatingly talented female performers. Tammy Wynette, however, may be among the very best. The first lady of country music, if you will.
Sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
Her career saw plenty of hits, but there's one song that stands above it all. The iconic Stand By Your Man. Wynette's insanely powerful vocals sell this somewhat controversial song from first note to last, but particularly so during the finale, where she goes all out with her performance of its high notes.
Keep giving all the love you can.
The creative relationship between Wynette and producer Billy Sherrill perhaps never saw a more bountiful harvest than the glory that was Stand By Your Man. Number 6, Your Cheatin' Heart, Hank Williams with his Drifting Cowboys. Hank Williams is often considered, and rightfully so, to be a defining personality of country music. His songs served as bedrocks for the entire genre, inspiring generations of musicians that stretch all the way to the modern day. I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry is just one of Williams' classic killers.
I'm so lonesome I could cry.
While Your Cheatin' Heart may be among his best-known songs, it's a classic tale of heartbreak, a country standard highlighted by Williams' iconic delivery and influential songwriting skill.
Your cheating heart will make you weep.
It's an easy entry for fans new to classic country music, while also one of the best examples of the genre at its most pure and undiluted.
Okay. I probably won't like it then.
Number 5, Jolene, Dolly Parton. The words legend and talent get tossed around a lot, but they take on a whole new meaning when referencing the wonderful, inimitable Dolly Parton.
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Want proof? How about the fact that the 9 to 5 singer told the Bobby Bones Show in 2018 that she apparently wrote not one, but 2 of country music's all-time classics on the same day? Yep, both I Will Always Love You and our next pick, Jolene, were apparently composed by Dolly within a 24-hour period. And we're just flabbergasted at the genius of it all.
And I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene.
Chip Young's hooky guitar work is the glue that holds Jolene together, as Dolly sings her heart out about a woman she feels has designs on her man. It's a short and not so sweet slice of crossover country perfection.
Yeah.
Glastonbury, wasn't it?
Number 4, Mama Tried, Merle Haggard and the Strangers. The world of outlaw country has many classic heroes, including Waylon Jennings, David Allan Coe, and Johnny Paycheck. Merle Haggard also deserves mention in that distinguished company, thanks to his genre-defining work on songs like Okie from Muskogee. And our next entry, Mama Tried.
The first thing I remember knowing was a lonesome whistle blowing.
There's a sense of futility to the song of a life destined for danger, despite the best intentions of the narrator's parents.
Have we seen this
the
on another
evocative beauty
video?
of Mama Tried and its acoustic bass is undercut by the stabs of lead guitar of the Strangers' Roy Nichols.
Dear old daddy, rest his soul, left my mom a heavy load.
While the ride cymbal accompaniment of drummer Eddie Burris lends the chorus of Mama Tried a jauntiness that makes it all the more memorable.
That leaves only me to blame, 'cause Mama tried.
Number 3, Crazy, Patsy Cline.
Patsy
In the
Cline,
world of
big one.
country music, there's sadness, and then there's the near inescapable
Crazy,
melancholy that is Crazy by Patsy Cline.
I'm crazy for feeling so lonely.
Great voice.
Patsy Cline takes the Willie Nelson pen tune and makes it irrevocably her own. And we challenge anyone to take a listen without feeling those teardrops fall. Patsy's voice is smoky, bluesy, and mournful, backed by a choral and piano accompaniment that makes Crazy the kind of song that works in many different settings.
I'm crazy for trying and
62 classics.
for crying.
Wow.
It works in a dimly lit bar, perhaps while drowning one's sorrow or personal demons. But it also works perhaps as a coping mechanism for grief. Best listened to on headphones in the dark, allowing Cline to sing us the blues in her own inimitable fashion. Number 2,
Blues country,
He
innit?
Stopped Loving Her Today.
George Jones. Okay, we know
The
him.
role of producer Billy Sherrill cannot be overstated when it comes to
Strange,
how
isn't
it
it?
helped make the careers of some incredibly talented people.
He said, I'll love you till I die.
See, we
George
missed,
Jones was
we
one of
missed
those people, a voice of his
underlying
generation that helped lay the groundwork for all of country
story
music
within
throughout
that.
his
Yeah.
work in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It was Cheryl, however, that convinced Jones to take on I Stopped Loving Her Today in 1980. Just as the singer's career was in the midst of a slump,
You know, she came to see him one last time. Oh, and we all wondered if she would.
I mean, listen to it back. The story is very poignant, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can like it.
Jones's dead-eye
It's
performance and Cheryl's giant, cavernous
It's not
production
mine.
style helped the song shoot off like a rocket, becoming,
my ear.
in the minds of many, the best country song ever recorded.
I know. That's what
I know.
they think, don't they?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel
Britney
and ring
Spears.
the bell to get notified
Yeah, I
about
mean,
our
it's a
latest
tough, innit? Because,
videos.
like, you
have
know,
the option to be notified
from the
of
ones
our
that we've
original
heard.
videos or all of them.
Yeah,
Gotta
number
be,
If
one.
you're on
gotta
your
be
phone,
Johnny,
make
Johnny
sure you
Cash.
go into your
Gotta be
settings
Johnny
and
Cash.
switch on
Johnny
notifications.
Cash.
Yeah, gotta be.
Johnny Cash.
Number 1, I
Yeah.
Walk the Line, Johnny Cash. For many, the voice of
Yeah.
Johnny
Gotta
Cash
be in it.
is the voice of country music, and it's difficult
Yeah.
to challenge that argument. This becomes particularly true when listening to the man's classic discography,
He's cold,
featuring
man.
such hits as Ring of Fire and our number 1 pick, I Walk the Line.
I
Okay.
keep a close watch on this heart of mine.
It took 3 tries for I Walk the Line to become
Yeah.
Cash's first number 1 Billboard hit, but the end results
Really?
display how much the song has entered the cultural zeitgeist when music fans tend to think of old school country music.
I keep you on my mind both day and night.
I mean,
Maybe
we're
it's
not
the
even
Man in
country
Black's
lovers,
deadpan
really,
delivery
but that
or those
song is
iconic
just
lyrics. But
This works,
I Walk
doesn't
the
it?
Line
It's brilliant.
never fails to lift our spirits every time we hear it.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these
Yeah,
other clips from
well,
Watch Mojo.
I did.
I mean, we enjoyed
I
the
could have done
content.
with a little. I did a lot of information. Would have liked
Yeah.
to have heard a little bit more of the songs.
But,
As my own
as we know,
feedback.
probably getting it through copyright, etc.,
Getting it through
etc., blah blah
copyright.
blah blah. But he did a
It's a
good job.
challenge.
Filled in some of the blanks as well for us.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash, yeah, agreed on Johnny Cash number 1. Yeah, some of the others haven't heard all of them, but the ones that we thought would be in there were there as well, weren't they? Patsy Cline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gambler. I mean, the Gambler's up there for people. I guess that one sort of sits on people that are not country because it's country pop, like you said. So it sort of works for every person. But yeah, some
Got a bigger
cracking ones in
reach.
there, mate.
Yeah, some good songs. Thank you, Jacob. Taking the time to go out and send it. I know you sent a top 30 as well. But maybe we'll do the extra 10 at some other point. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, listening to those songs again. Tammy Wynette, Dolly Parton, Patsy Cline. Some classic, female.
Big
country singers, because it's. I think in the UK, if people, when they say country, people sort of default to men, I think, a little bit. Say, and that, but you forget.
And the bigger artists, the ladies, aren't they?
The ladies is the big one. I mean, I mean, they're the ones that are smashing that out of the park, really. All right.
There you go. Food for thought.
Food for thought. Yes. All right.
Great, enjoyed that, and nice to see Kelly Clarkson up there with her own TV show. That was a while back. Thank you very much, Jacob, again, for all your wonderful country selections and requests. Yeah, you're educating us very, very slowly, because we're not that bright, but we're getting there.
You have. Thank you so much for joining us today for Brits React. We'll be back tomorrow for another reaction, and until then, it's a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from him. Laters.
Laters, partner.